Hey, this is Chris Lavin from Xtreme Polishing Systems. We're here in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida, city of milk and honey.
There you go, the rich and famous.
Yeah, Boca Raton is seen in all the movies. It's a very famous place here in Florida. And today we have the whole University of the Epoxy Training Center here with us. And we're going to be doing a installation of a metallic floor system here. We have the famous Bill Waters with us.
How you doing?
Who you guys have seen in many of our videos. And we're going to be doing a charcoal.
We're going to do a silver with a charcoal with a ice pearl highlights.
Yes, so I'm going to turn the floor over to Bill here. He's going to be giving these gentlemen some instruction on how to do these floors. And I guess the client's going to be here today.
The client will be here.
And the general contractor that awarded us this project. And Bill, the floor is yours, okay?
All right, welcome to the amazing world of metallics. Today we are going to be doing, like we said, a silver floor with two different highlights. We're going to be doing it with a charcoal highlight and a ice pearl highlight. Right now we're just setting up in our mixing area. We got our buckets set up. We like to pre-mix. We haven't done it because we were waiting for the class to come. My son Anthony will start pouring these in. We're going to start making up the silver. We're going to make up all the silver first, and then we'll apply it to the floor, and then we'll do our highlights as we need them. Right, Anthony?
That's Anthony Waters, famous Anthony.
All right, so I got my eggs. I'm going to put them into my bucket now. I like to use a stir stick.
Yeah. We recommend that all our mixes are stirred by stick, not by drill, because we're trying to eliminate bubbles and air into our mix. And doing it by hand, you eliminate a good bit of it. You're still going to get some, but you eliminate a good bit of it. So that's what we're doing. We get 5-gallon bucket sticks so we can stir it properly. We don't use the small ones, only on the small mixes. But
all right, I'm going to dump one of my eggs in the bucket. Now to get everything out of the bucket, you want to go around with the stick on the sides, get all the material out the sides, so you don't have any soft spots. Make sure you get it all out.
always checking. You never know if there's something else in here, which we do have two different colors in here. The charcoal the guy put in, he can make a mistake and grab one.
All right, I'm gonna drop my silver into my mix.
Variant. Want to use a smaller one?
Pearl ice, is that one of the pigments that settles real bad?
The pearls, anytime we do a pearl, we have to do 2 or 3 primer coats, because pearls, they're transparent, you can see through them, right. And you have to, you got to have a really nice foundation for it.
Right.
If you only go on one and there's dark spots, it will show through it. So we always put 2, maybe 3, all right? Okay. Because there are clients that they don't want to see nothing but the pearl.
Like 2 per A, per gallon of A.
Oh yeah, when we're mixing, we do always 2, all right? Some people like to cut it and go 1, but you want that richness. If you do that, if you take one of them out of a 3-gallon mix, it's going to be so much lighter.
More transparent.
Right, because it's only 16 ounces, so we're only putting 32 ounces to 3 gallons. So you take one away, you're not saving any money. It's only they only cost 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is. Versus doing the whole floor over, because you did do that, and costing you $250 a kit. All right, so I'd rather spend the $20 than the $250 a kit in labor and everything else to redo the floor.
Right.
But like I said, you see the pearls. Even when you paint a car, when you do cars, they put multiple primers on there to make sure that pearl shows through.
Right.
Today what we're going to do, we work down here in Florida. We have a lot of humidities. That'll help relax the bubbles so you don't get a lot of gassing out of the floor. And a lot of times with the heat, what will happen, the top of the material will skin over and it's still gas and you'll create bubbles. So we put in a relaxer in there so that...
Straight acetone?
Yeah.
Xylene.
Or xylene. We're putting xylene.
Xylene, right,
We're
okay.
putting xylene in it. And you can, the thicker you leave your material, we're going to go for 50 square feet per gallon. All right, so you measure out your area, you make sure that you have enough mixes pre-made. If you here we're going to do 6 mixes. You always kind of leave the last one out just as you need it. All right, so you don't use up all your material. So anyway, we're going to try to get 50 square feet per gallon. That's our goal, and then we throw the highlights on top of that. Some people put the highlights in the mix itself. That's not the technique I use. As Anthony gets a couple of these mixed up, I'm marking my containers. The foreman on the job should always mark the containers for his mixer. I do that just to make sure, in my mind, I know he's doing the right thing. If I'm doing 1.5 quarts, I make sure I mark the container. He checks it, make sure it's right. The reason, you don't want no mistakes. Any mistakes that made affect the whole floor because it's a seamless floor. That means you're going to have to rip the floor up or you're going to have to do patchwork. So to avoid that, whoever's in charge, make sure you mark your containers and you give it to your mix man. Your most important guy right here at this time is your mix man, not you or me, the guy that's making the mixes, because if he doesn't do the proper job, this floor will not come out right, and you do not want to remove a floor that's been messed up. It is hell. It is no fun, believe me.
How do we remove it? Remember? Grinder. Or
Oh my gosh.
you're all failed.
All right, guys, go home.
Xylene, scrapers, grinder,
Scrape
scrapers.
it. First you put your xylene and you scrape it. You use a flat scraper, you get as much up as you can.
Goo.
Sometimes if you have a hardener, you're going to get half mix and half not. So that's where the grinder's going to come in. You remove everything you can. You take your rags and you wipe it up as much as possible. Throw sand down. You can use clay sand down on the floor. Then you take your grinder to it and you start grinding. The sand's going to absorb all the liquid and juice that's not set up, and it'll gum it all up. If you just use the machine straight with diamonds, you'll gum your diamonds all up and ruin your machine. So about 8 ounces. This is going to be our bubble relaxer that we're going to pour in here. You got a ticket? Ticket, please.
Yes.
Ticket. No ticket? You guys have all your tickets, right?
You put it on Chris's tip.
All right, let me get the sign. You don't have the sign yet? All right, I will get, oh, there's the xylene right there. Okay, this is xylene. You can buy it at Home Depot, anywhere. If you find a place, a wholesale store, buy it, as long as you proper xylene. And when I do my floors in between coats, I always sand. I sand them, and then I dry wipe them twice with a micro mop to pick up the dust, and then I do 2 wet. When I do the wet mops, I put liquid in a bucket, and then I take a different micro mop. I don't want to do the same one. I don't want to ruin it. And I soak it in the bucket. Instead of spraying alcohol or dumping alcohol, put it in the bucket. You can take your rag, put your rag in there, and you can rinse it out. You can get the dirt actually out of it instead of just spraying and moving the dirt around. As you go, you'll notice you'll pick up dirt. So you want to have a bucket with some alcohol. You don't have to fill it up. You have about that much alcohol, and you go mop. Do not pick your mop up. If you're out there and you got dirt and you want to clean it, don't pick it up. You drag your mop all the way to the door and pick it up, because every time you pick your mop up, there's going to be a line of dirt, and if you don't want that up in the middle of your floor, so you drag it to the doorway, then you pick it up, then you clean it up. Back in straight lines. You vac it like that. You go up and then you bring it back the same way. Move it over. That way you keep a pattern and you know you haven't missed any spots. All right, back, and everything that has a trick to it. And once you learn how to do that, your floors will get better and better as you do that. All right, and
When you're vacuuming, are you picking it up and then pulling it
I have a
backwards?
technique. I push my wand up So any heavy stuff it picks up, and then I drag it back. Then I pick it up and I drag it up. That's there, if there's heavier stuff, because when you're pulling it back, a lot of times the stuff likes to fly off to the side. When you're vacuuming, it's just not vac and go. You watch the floor. If you see something that flies out, you make sure you vac it. A lot of people just vac and go, hey, I vac the floor, but hey, I missed a spot here. You got to open your eyes and you got to operate looking that way. You look and you make sure that it's vac properly. Every little step will affect the next step. So you want to make sure that step is properly done. A good sign of a guy when you're out on the floor, I always look in my pocket. I always got parts of floors in my pocket, because I stop and pick. If you see something, you got to stop and pick it up. I don't know if I got dirt in here. Look, that's from out on that floor. Pick it up. Don't walk over it. A lot of people will walk past it. If you walk past it, it's going to get in your mix. It's going to get in your floor. It's going to get in your finish. You know, then the customer's not going to be happy. He's going to go, well, what's that? Well, I seen it there, but hey, you know, I didn't pick it up. Must pick up any trash. Everybody that's out on that floor have to keep their eyes open, and you have to be aware of what you're doing. Use it down here as a bubble relaxer, because the heat here tends to kick the floors over faster. So what will happen when the floor starts kicking over, it'll skin on top, and the gas still wants to release, so it pushes itself up and creates bubbles. Like I say, you can use up to 10%. All right, we're using 8 ounces. Right now, we're going to use 8 ounces to do this. This is kind of what we use down here, about 8. And we're going to have all this pre-mixed before we start. That way, if it's all pre-mixed, you don't forget nothing. If it's not pre-mixed, you're going, did I put this in or didn't I? You know, you mix it, it's in there, you know it's good to go. You don't have to question yourself about it. Be our main mix. We'll have another little area set off to the side for doing highlights. That way they don't get confused. And let's see if I get another container for highlights. So no, you don't want that heat coming in either, because that'll catch it going as well. Okay. Yeah, tape up the windows if you can. Okay. You got light coming in like that. The direction where Anthony, are you going to set up your
that probably could have the tattoo in place.
Those are all the measurements on it. You guys are going to do 1.5.
That's very hard work.
Listen now, please pay attention to Anthony.
Jar activator, our bead. Put it in, make sure you got clean that last one. Then do the same thing, take your stick, go around the bucket, make sure you get everything out. Oh, okay. Alright. You gotta mix this. Every angle all around, up and down.
Back and forth to make sure what's on the bottom gets to the top, what's on the top gets to the bottom. All right, so we don't have any soft spots. I just was on the floor the other day, the guy had soft spots out there. It was that bottom of the bucket he poured out, that little piece that didn't get any hardener.
Yeah, we did that one time. We left the bucket upside down on the floor.
You can't do that. Don't recommend that you flip a bucket. Dump it out, you leave what's in there, you bring it out to the guy, he'll have a trash bucket, he'll drain it out into it. Yeah. We don't recommend you dump and leave it sit. Just a good thing we like Marilyn Monroe.
You like Chris because he pays us every Monday. Pays our bills. Dump them back in here. Do this about 3 times.
So now the good thing is now you know that when you go in, look at it. Well, this one. Now, how do you keep track of the time before like you're mixing?
You can have a clock. You can have a stop clock. You count the seconds. Right here, for instance, look. You see this right here? See that little piece of dirt? Don't go over it, because that's going to get in your mix. Bend over. In the pocket. 8 ball in the corner pocket. Anything you see, you gotta do this job with your eyes open. So it's not a job where you just walk through the motions. Because if you do that, you're gonna make this. Are you just letting the weight of the head of the squeak keep pushing up and down? The more angle, if you leave it like that, you're gonna get a full angle. And you can't roll it out and get all the air out of it. So what you'll have is you'll see all these little bubbles. I'll do it, but I recommend not to do it because you're going to take the gloss away, and then you're going to end up like you put a non-skid into it.
So let's say you have a situation where you have to put a top coating because a lot of traffic or sun. What would be your preferred top coat for epoxy?
Your thing that has working time, we don't really have anything that we use. Water-based is good, but you got to find a material that doesn't kick on you and has time to air out and let the bubbles flow out and stuff. A lot of times, you feel how hot it is in here. If I was using polyester, it'd be just kicking like that. See what he wants, kind of. Now, I was told you want a lot of motion, a lot of highlights.
Yeah, very
lots of colors.
I think I have a previous work done.
So when I'm out here doing highlights, I just time anywhere and everywhere. And all different motions. You don't want to set a pattern or anything.
We say about 2 more mixes? 2 more sprays?
Yeah.
So I'm
gonna need another place. So now I'm gonna start my swirling. Any motion that you like to do, you can do.
So the swirling is also taking out your notches.
Yes. But you don't roll. We don't roll. Oh, there's no rolling. Swirl. You gotta do that.
It's so cool, like look at them, like you can see them sharpening. Cool. Is that because the grade's already set up?
No, the grade's not
Like
set
when
up.
it like just like running across
The grade's not set up. I couldn't come out here if it was. But you want to be able to get it right out on it. And as soon as he comes with the lights, we'll put the light in here. Usually I'll do both highlights at the same time. Put them out and then swirl. So I'm going to try to get all them out of there. Watch the white spots, gentlemen. They are fresh cabo mixes.
Here comes the highlight.
Long crack marks. The powder tends to move and travel. So some people don't like that. That's why liquid, you don't get that. You'll get some, but it's very minimum, very small, versus long ones. Some of these can go up to 6 inches long.
Anyways, I hope that everybody got a lot from this video. Mr. Bill Waters is a great instructor, as well as everybody here at the Epoxy Training Center. I know that the students that came here to the class were very happy to be here, all because of Carl.
Oh man.
And Carl, I want to say thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure.
This is
Thank
classic styles of Boca. They're on 2nd Avenue. You're like a master of like cutting hair.
Any style, any design we can do.
Can you like do something special on my head?
Why not?
Oh, really? Get a discount?
Yeah, anyways, listen. Yeah. Always. Listen, anytime that you have questions, if you are interested in attending this university, if you're interested in getting a job done, call a number below. We answer this phone pretty much 24/7. It's because of people like Carl here and all these students that have come to the class that makes this all worth everybody's while. We can continue this journey of the metallic epoxy floors and some of the decorative floors that we do. Okay, so call the number below, sign up today, and thanks so much for joining us.